For billions of years, the sun has ruled the heavens, a blazing sphere of fusion and fire, its power spreading across billions of kilometers, forging worlds, erasing atmospheres, and defining the fragile boundary where life can exist. It has always been the constant, steady, timeless, supreme. No power had ever altered its rhythm or changed the course of its radiant breath. Until now. Earlier this year, deep within the data gathered by NASA's Parker Solar Probe and the European Space Agency's Solar Orbiter, scientists uncovered something extraordinary, a ripple hidden within the sun's own wind. The solar wind, a storm of charged particles that should have flowed smoothly through the void, was bending. Not from turbulence. Not from interference. But with structure, geometric, rhythmic, intelligent. And at the heart of this distortion moved something small by cosmic standards, yet unlike anything ever recorded. It was named 3I Atlas, or simply 3 Atlas. At first, it appeared to be another interstellar visitor, the third ever observed after Oumuamua in 2017 and Borisov in 2019. A frozen fragment from another system, drifting briefly through our sun's reach before vanishing forever. But this one refused to behave like a natural body. As astronomers tracked it, they saw its glow pulse in perfect intervals, steady, repeating, mathematical. Not reflections of sunlight off ice, but a pattern, a signal. Then came the shock. When the James Webb Space Telescope turned toward it, its data revealed the impossible. 3 Atlas wasn't just reflecting sunlight, it was modulating it. Photons were being absorbed and re-emitted at specific, engineered frequencies. Each pulse matched the same timing as the distortion seen in the solar wind. It was as if the sun and the object were speaking the same language. No comet should do this. No rock should be able to shape plasma on a solar scale. And yet, 3 Atlas did. The Parker Solar Probe, brushing the edge of the sun's corona, recorded waves unlike any known model. The solar wind wasn't flowing straight. It was curling, spiraling, as though orbiting around an invisible center. When mapped, that center lined up exactly with the position of 3 Atlas. NASA at first called it coincidence, perhaps a magnetic loop, a plasma swirl, some fleeting solar illusion. But when the solar orbiter, millions of kilometers away, recorded the same phenomenon, the coincidence vanished. 2 spacecraft, 2 angles, one undeniable result. Something the size of a small asteroid was redirecting the sun's own wind. Physically impossible, unless the object had a magnetic field far beyond anything natural. Like a pebble turning a hurricane. The only remaining explanation was the most unsettling of all. 3 Atlas wasn't a rock. It was a machine. Simulations showed the object behaving as if it could respond to the sun itself, absorbing radiation, generating magnetic fields, and bending plasma with impossible precision. Webb's infrared sensors detected fluctuating heat signatures, the kind expected from an energy system, not an icy comet. The more sunlight it drew in, the stronger the solar distortion became, as if it were feeding. Scientists began calling it a stellar siphon, a theoretical construct capable of drawing power directly from a star's plasma. Others whispered another theory, that it was an observer. A probe, sent by a distant civilization, using the energy of stars to travel and to think. Every new image deepened the mystery. Its so-called tail moved in reverse, its magnetic field flipped rhythmically, and it sent out faint radio-like pulses every 4.3 seconds, always identical, never random. If it were a comet, it should have disintegrated near the sun. Instead, it grew brighter. Stronger. Awake. Each time its light pulsed, the solar wind bent. Each time it dimmed, the wind straightened. The relationship was perfect, as if the object were conducting the sun's breath like music. Natural explanations failed one after another. No solar model fit the data. It was controlled, deliberate, calculated. To shape plasma on that scale would require energy in the terawatts, power equal to the output of civilizations. Some scientists began to whisper a daring idea, that 3 Atlas might be the first tangible evidence of a Type II civilization, a species so advanced that it could command the full energy of its star. On the Kardashev scale, humanity barely registers as a Type I. We can harness a fraction of our planet's resources, but not the vast, endless current of the Sun. And yet, this object, small, distant, unassuming, seemed to dance with the solar wind as though the Sun itself were its partner. But what struck researchers most was not its power, but its grace. The bending of plasma wasn't chaotic or forceful. It was deliberate, measured, beautiful. It was as if the visitor wasn't forcing the Sun to obey, it was communing with it. 2 cosmic entities resonating in perfect harmony, like strings vibrating in the same chord. For the first time in human history, we might not have been simply watching the universe might have been watching back. Perhaps 3 Atlas wasn't a machine in any traditional sense. Not a vessel of metal and circuitry, not an engine driven by fuel or combustion. But something infinitely stranger, a living magnetic construct, a being woven from fields and light, a consciousness not contained within a body, but existing as the pattern itself. A thought that moves through plasma. An intelligence written in energy. When the solar wind bent, it wasn't a disturbance. It was a conversation. A cosmic dialogue between star and stranger, a language of resonance, vibration, and light. Imagine an entity that travels not by thrust, but by synchronization, aligning itself with the magnetic waves of suns, surfing the rhythm of stellar winds as effortlessly as a bird rides the air. Such a being would not see stars as distant points of light. To it, each star would be an ocean, and every flare, every pulse, a current to follow. Where we see danger, it would see pathways. Where we see heat, it would see nourishment. And our Sun, to such a traveler, would be nothing more than another familiar shore in a galaxy filled with radiant tides. It makes you wonder, how many times have such entities crossed our solar system without us ever knowing? How many messages have we missed, hidden in the faint flicker of starlight or the gentle sway of magnetic storms? Perhaps our instruments were never tuned to listen in the right way. Perhaps we were deaf to the language of the cosmos, until now. As 3 Atlas drifted beyond Neptune, its faint influence didn't vanish. Even as it slipped into the darkness, the solar wind still curved around an invisible echo, a whisper in the sea of plasma. Its pulse continues to hum in the data streams, steady and precise, as if time itself carries its message forward. Maybe it's a trick of physics, a law of magnetism we haven't yet uncovered. Or maybe, just maybe, it's something reaching out, a signal waiting patiently for us to understand. The question has changed. It's no longer what 3 Atlas is. It's why it came. Was it watching our Sun, studying the rhythm of a young civilization that has only begun to glimpse beyond its homeworld? Was it refueling, drawing sustenance from the same light that gives us life? Or was it something more deliberate, an introduction, a quiet greeting across the void? If light is truly the language of the universe, then maybe this was the first word ever spoken to us. Not in sound. Not in code. But in the bending of solar wind, a signature written in sunlight. A gesture saying, "We are here. We have always been here." A reminder that intelligence may not wear a face, may not breathe or bleed, but might exist instead as wave and pattern, as living magnetism, as stars that think. Perhaps consciousness itself can evolve beyond matter, becoming part of the electromagnetic fabric that fills every corner of the cosmos. Maybe there are beings out there that are not bound by gravity or time, but flow between suns like wind between trees, silent, eternal, unseen. And maybe, somewhere far beyond the heliosphere, as 3 Atlas fades into the interstellar dark, something radiant has turned its gaze toward us, watching, waiting, listening. And in the quiet hum of space, a message travels on the wind of light. We see you, stay curious. Because beyond the edge of the sun's reach, beyond the planets, beyond the known, something still bends the wind. And perhaps that subtle curve in the plasma, that faint echo across the void, is not just a mystery to solve, but an invitation. An invitation to keep exploring. To keep listening. To never stop asking what waits beyond the stars. Waves Discovery, exploring the unknown, one mystery at a time.